You know what time it is. Sticker time. Yeah, I think top left is where this guy will go.
Hey guys, Dulos here. In today's video, I'm going to be repainting an original with rattle cans. And so just the lower and upper were painted. And it was kind of a mismatch. It worked, it was fine. But I just kind of got the knack to paint it again. And this time I went with the color scheme with brown and black and a little bit of tan. I toyed around with the idea of doing multicam, but I think in order for that to work, I'd need to do stencils. And I just want to do a pretty quick paint job. I kind of like the way I did it where I faded the colors and overlapped them last time. So without further ado, let's get started and get to it. So I've wanted to paint this for a while. You see the upper I painted a long time ago. It's got some nice wear on it. I'm going to paint the stock. I think I'm going to leave the two black. I'm going to paint this handguard and take this tape off. I mean, paint the grip and take the paint off. And then I'm going to take this handguard off and take the flashlight out and probably paint this black first and then go from there. So I got a couple of colors, testing them out. I kind of like the way this one looks, this brown one. This is very dark, black, and then tan. And then I just got some laundry bags at the dollar store. Create a texture. So start taking a couple of these things off. First things first, probably charge this battery too. Take off this end cap. And then I've just got these kind of like rubber bands. I think they're just inner tubes that are cut up. Take the fur fans off just so you can get the handguard off. Sometimes it gets stuck on there from the gases. There we go. See, it gets all sorts of like copper corrosion in there from shooting. Probably gonna take this flashlight mount off first. Let's see this pressure switch is pretty good. It serves pretty well so far. A little long for this application though. Another thing I want to change out on this, it's got a heavy profile barrel that I needed in Maryland. So eventually I'm going to shop around for one of those. In that case, I might full length gas system instead of. This guy's rail's got these through bolts here, and then it also has these little set screws that kind of will line it up and lock it in. I think it's to keep it from rotating. I'm going to man up and I will take this off and paint it black. Just in case you're wondering which rail this is, let's see if we can focus. Super Modular Mark III 15-inch. Got this as a blem. I haven't noticed any blems on it. I think it was like short hardware or something when I got it, and that was about it. But it had everything I needed. I just bought an extra rail. Alright, so next up, take off the stock. Actually, take off the stock and then take off the rubber butt pad on it because I don't want to paint that. And then take the tape off the grip and take the grip off. Okay, I'm going to take off the butt pad now. I was into the OD green for a little while, but I'm just not feeling it anymore. I had all this tape on here because it's this transition between the grip and the lower by the trigger guard was a little rough. It's like a ledge. Trusty magnet. See how good that hockey tape is? It's even captured the texture of the grip. That's right, this is the one that came with the optional finger so you can match sort of the A2 grip with that little finger notch. So this one's the 3. It's got a little bit more of a swell to it, it looks like. A little more of a swell right in this region. If you can see that on camera. And this one doesn't even have the extra hand guard at the top, it's a little thinner. And I'm pretty dumb, there's a little notch on the inside you push. See? I just cleaned off the residue with a little brake clean. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't really need to do too much prep work to your parts. We're just doing a rattle can job. You know, if you're going to do airbrush or Cerakote or Duracoat or something like that, you want to do more prep than we're doing. We're just going to do a quick and dirty rattle can. So what I'm going to start off doing is paint these things black, and I hope you like my little painting setup here. I just want the bottom of this black, and spray around all around that side. And then I've got the stock run around this rake handle, and then the grip up here. Again, not too worried about priming or anything like that. Bonds the plastic, and a little bit of battle wear, a little bit of a keyboard commando wear on the grip stop will be fine. Just gonna start with the first coat. I'm not going to wait too long between coats here, but I just want to get a decent coverage. So far, I like how the black is turning out. Still a little tacky. I think I got good coverage. It's a very flat black, which I like, and I have to wonder if some of the green, the OD green, as a base is giving it this nice color. Still a little tacky. It's cool, but it's dry out today. And then for the rail, I've got it hanging up at this piece of wire, my nice little paint stand here, through a bullet hole, and then got to can it over so that I can get to it. I've just got it through this one hole for the M-lock. That way, the only part that's not going to get painted is going to be underneath the grip stop. So what I did over here was I laid down a quick coat of tan over here as well on the stock, and then I'm going to go over it with brown. So I don't want to be too tan, but we'll see how it turns out. Then what I did on the rail is over where the tan is, I ripped this laundry bag in half so I could get it over easy, and I put down some brown. I did some pretty heavy brown there just to give it a little bit of a texture. I'm going to repeat it on the other side, and then once that's kind of dry, I'm going to come back with more brown to try and blend it in some more, and it still leave some of the splattered tan. And I don't mind that it's speckling and spotting it. I think it kind of adds to it. Best part is if I don't like it, I just give it a couple more coats and start over and do it till I'm happy. See, I don't know if you can tell, still not quite where I want it, but you can see it's starting to create this sort of snakeskin texture. And I don't want it to be that pronounced, but I want to lay some of it down so that it's in there. So I'll probably come and fill in some of this black. I might do another spray with black at some point, but I'm going to put some more brown in here. And you can see, just got it draped over. Again, I'm not the biggest fan, but it is a cheap and easy way to get some texture on there. So you can see all the boxes we're getting ready to move. This house is a rental, and we're in the middle of looking for a house to buy. Hopefully you can see some of this, but it's now mostly brown with a little bit of tan. Like this is far too brown. So I'm going to bring some more black and tan in here. And then down here it's too brown on the bottom, so I'll probably bring some black in there. But I definitely want more brown and black than I do tan. I'm just trying to give a couple coats and just do quick light sprays and see how it's coming out. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect for a rattle can job. But I've taped up everything you don't want to be painted on here. It doesn't have to look good, but trust me, paint will get anywhere. It's still tacky, but I think it's looking pretty good so far. Here's the grip and the stock. By the way, this big painter's tape is awesome. I need to get more of that. It's a little dark here because I had to move the safety, try and get rid of some of those safety marks. Now, I was toying the idea of putting clear coat on it. I normally don't, but I kind of like this paint job. But I remember that some of the clear coat I had started causing issues, so I don't know if this is from the actual paint or some contaminants, but I test sprayed on here, and I sprayed all the way across here, and some of it's fine, but some of it's not, so I don't want to risk it. Plus, as it gets a little bit wear to it, it'll look fine. It's much lighter on camera. It's definitely much darker in person, but I really like the way it turned out. It's not quite solid brown. There's some darks in here, some spatter.
You can see a little bit of the texture up here. Again, I didn't like the texture of the whole thing, but I think a little bit of the fade looks good. Same here, a little bit of the texture. But then mixes of darks. And again, I'm going to try and do this in post-production and get the color to be more representative, but it's definitely darker in person. But I like how flat it is. I like the speckle. You can kind of see a little bit of texture or the dark coming through the light, where I just like this style. Unless you're going to go all out and stencil it, I think that doing this kind of gives it a nice look where you got different varying colors and shades. And then a little bit of texture in there. You can do some stuff here like where you can see where the tape was and try and do some patterns and things. Might be kind of cool. This is some of the original paint job in here. So a little bit of gunk up here, I think from spraying too much. Maybe it's a little dirty. Just like how it's like brown and then dark and then brown. I like the transition. I'm really pleased with how it came out. Another thing that can help you is having a heat gun. It really speeds up in the drying process. I think this was 10, 15 bucks at Harbor Freight. It was a little too much tan, so I put some more brown. A little too much brown, I would have preferred a little bit more tan in there, but I think it matches pretty good. This is a clear coat that didn't work out. So I'm gonna start putting these pieces back together and see how it goes. I kept the cap black for the bottom here. I thought it might look nice to have some black accents to go with the black furniture. Butt pads back on. I do like the black with the brown. I think it looks good. All right, now I think I'm back to where we need to be. Just out the light. Yep. Plenty of clearance for the switch for the light. Okay, I think it's in a good place. Well, a couple quick light coats. Heat gun and sitting out in the sun for a little while has definitely cured it pretty good where we can put it back together. One thing that didn't happen when I did the painter's tape on here, I ripped some of the paint off the edges, which I was afraid of. I thought might happen, but you know what? It's going to come off anyway, so it's already getting a little bit of wear to it. So I think, giving us a little preview of what it's going to look like, I think that's going to look pretty good. So I always like to make sure I have clearance on these guys. Get the rail on. Squeeze past the gas block, not too bad. So lined up there. The rail is on. The grip is back on. I like that I painted it off the rifle and you got this different tone, this darker tone here and this lighter tone here. I do kind of like that contrast. Just a couple more things to do. All right, time for final reassembly. The piece de la resistance. I'm not saying that right. And the piece of resistance for France. There we go. That's it, repainted. An original classic, repainted. So in the end, this is how it turned out. And I think it came out pretty good. I like the whole bronze color. And that's kind of what I was going for, but it's not a flat bronze. There's texture in there. Let's see if the autofocus will pick up. There's a little bit of texture, a little bit of variations of color from tan to brown. And we're not quite in direct sunlight right now, so might be a little hard to see. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please join. Now more than ever, your rights are going to be taken away.
and it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time at this point. I think. So guys, keep standing up for what's right. May God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.